Thank you so much to all. A beautiful warm welcome to all the delegates. The IRMA CEO Conclave opening panel 1 discussion is on the fourth largest sector of Indian economy, FMCG and agribusiness. FMCG has made good progress in recent years. Margins are up by 640 basis points between financial year 2017 and financial year 21, while the top line is up from around 10,000 crore rupees to 15,000 crore rupees in the same period. With the outstanding minds we have in the panel discussion today, let's delve further into it to benefit from the experience of our panelists. We will discuss on the topic, pandemic and beyond, building businesses that thrive amidst disruptions in global supply chain.
We would like to invite our panelists to join us on the stage for the panel 1. Mr. Shubhos Mishra, Director of Amrit Breeder Farms Limited, PRN Group. Mr. Paresh Shah, Founder, Agribusiness Corporation. Mr. Sanjeev Akhana, CEO, Patanjali Foods Limited, PRN Foods. Mr. Sudhakar Desai, CEO, IRMA Agrotech, PRN Foods. Mr. Jayan Mehta, COO, GCMMF, PRN. Mr. Srinivasan Ji, Chief of Staff, Reliance Industries, PRN. Mr. Manoranjan Pani, CEM, GCMMF, PRN. Mr. Kishore Chupekar, MD, NCDFI, OIP, PRN 12. Mr. Amit Vyas, MD, Kaya Milk Union, OIP, PRN 14. Mr. Sandeep Jadhav, Director, ACS Management Consultants, PRN 13. Mr. Pawan Singh, GM, GCMMF, PRN 14. Mr. Kamaldeep Singh, ex-CEO, Big Bazaar, PRN 20. Mr. Nitin Puri, Head of Business Development, Farmart, PRN 20. Mr. Richie Agarwal, Founder of RA Consulting and Asar Initiatives Foundation, PRN 26.
I welcome Richie ma'am, a committed development professional with the extensive knowledge of the whole dairy value chain. Ma'am has two fabulous decades of diverse and priceless expertise in various fields, including consulting, management, and the marketing of food businesses. Ma'am founded Asar Initiatives Foundation, organized that works with the underdeveloped to empower women farmers, develop and improve their life skills. I take pride in inviting Richie ma'am to moderate the event. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. I feel so humble और मुझे सबके बीच में बैठा दिया है. In fact, got me did tell me कि पहले वाले पैनल में भी चले जाना चाहिए था, तो कोई लड़की नहीं थी. So I said नहीं, वो बहुत बड़े लोग हैं, हम इधर ही ठीक हैं. Alright, so let us begin because we have a long agenda and a long day ahead of us. And without wasting time, I would like to welcome all my co-panelists. Thank you so much for being here on stage with me. It is a real honor and privilege for me to be being the moderator of this panel, and I chose not to do too much about it when I was kind of asked to do this. So I will take the privilege to do this. And see, our topic is about global supply chains in a post-pandemic world. Now when pandemic struck, just before the pandemic struck, things were going really fine, everything was hunky-dory, businesses were growing, a lot of milk businesses were thriving. I mean, today a lot of my clients come back to me and said that our business was doing absolutely wonderful just before the pandemic, and then pandemic struck and something happened and it just went down the drain. So people said that the world is going to look different, and the demand shock that was seen by the economy was also kind of taken aback by the supply shock, because it goes hand in hand. We were not able to supply, we didn't get raw material, we had vulnerabilities in our supply chain. So basically these all put together showed that there were challenges in the kind of supply chains that we had built in. And because of that, we somehow faced either, some businesses thrived, they did really well. So which means they were doing something right. And then there were some which did not. So we thought that, okay, post-pandemic things will become okay. And then post-pandemic what happened? The Ukraine war struck. So supply chains were once again being tested. And the decisions that were taken during pandemic, which were not to rely too much on the economies where it was riskier, people wanted to do things on their home ground, they wanted to bring in a lot of production, home production, and bring in jobs which were internal to countries. But then the Ukraine war basically tried to demonstrate once again that you really need to become independent in a lot of scenarios, and you need to put in your supply chain in order. And I would definitely be taking forward this topic here, because as on today, risk management is no longer optional. We have to take care of the supply chain issues and also all our production issues. Now, I'm not going to follow a very specific batch-wise sequence, so kindly pardon me for that. I will just take it as per the topic that we are discussing. So, Amit Vyas sir. Okay. Yeah, he was surprised. I'm glad, because what happens in class, we are in our own world, and then when the teacher suddenly... Okay. So, Amit Vyas sir is the MD of Kera District Cooperative Union, and I would like to ask you, sir, that India's role is really small as far as the global supply chain is concerned in our industry, because we have policies, we don't export too much, and not even a fraction of our production actually. So what are your thoughts on foreign firms entering India and we going out for export? Do you think it is okay? Because now that people are coming in, we should also go out. And on the basis of this, whatever you're going to answer, please try to derive whether it helps the ultimate producer, the farmer, people coming in and going out. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ruchi. The first and the foremost thing, as we all know, we are number one in the world, and thanks to Dr. Kurien, who started off all right from 1948, 50s. So, if you look at the milk scenario, our home ground consumption is so high compared to the production that we do in the country. The home ground takes care of everything. So then comes the export. If you see on dairy aspect, I think around 3,000 crore was the export for last year, of which 50% was done by Amul, basically. So in the coming scenario, there's no doubt that why we should not go out, but we should have our surplus milk with us, the first thing. So for that, we already started, the next 25 years, the projection that has been, shared by Dr. Sodhi sir in the World Dairy Summit was in next 25 years we will be somewhere around, today we are at 210 million metric ton, we will reach somewhere around 625 million metric ton. So for that, we will have always, we will be around 43 or 44% of our milk demand of the world. So in that scenario, we would be obviously exporting. But certainly at the back end, we need to improve the productivity of the animal, for which we are doing sorted sex semen, embryo transplant, digitalization, and total mixed ration for all the new breeds that are coming in. So combination of that is taking place. At the same time, we need to go out, but we would say that when people are coming here, why we should not go out? So we went first to US. We started our own operations. Kera started his own operation. So the future is to go in that country, procure it in that country, sell it in that country. The money that comes in gives back to the producers here in the area. So one model is to go out, and which we have already started in coming days. Further, we are going to enter into different more countries where we will be procuring their itself and selling it at a good price and get it back to the country.
Okay.
Farmers would be benefited in any case.
That's very important, because our concern majorly, I think, arises from the fact that if we are allowing other firms to come in, then we definitely need to look at whether the farmers are suffering or not because of that. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. My next question is to Pani, sir. Okay. I know everybody. So, Pani sir is the CGM of GCMML. Actually, sir को हम इतने समय से जानते हैं कि हमारे लिए वो designations actually मतलब सोडी सर से लेके अमूल में जितने लोग हैं, really the designations don't have that kind of an importance in terms of हमारे personal relations में. So, सर CGM हैं तो उनके लिए CGM वाला question.
खतरनाक क्वेश्चन
एक्चुअली सोडी सर को पूछने का मौका नहीं लगा. करेक्ट. आइए सर, आइए. देखिए यहाँ पे सब एलम्स ही है ना, तो ठीक है, हमने कॉन्शियसली बाहर वालों को नहीं आने दिया. हमने कहा हम फन करेंगे ना, तो बाहर वालों में थोड़ा गड़बड़ हो जाती है. So, Pani sir, please tell us, dairy business, like every business, is deeply intertwined with the environmental, social, governance concerns. And these days, you know, these are all big words, and people want to work on those sustainable development goals and all these big words that are there. So what are the major cause of concern here, and I mean in our industry, and what are the steps that we are taking for overcoming these concerns? Because as soon as we talk about dairy and cows and cattle, the first word that comes up is methane emissions, and then all you know. सर ये एग्जाम में ऐसे ही होता है. We are testing.
ओपन बुक एग्जाम है, चिंता मत करो.
Okay, Richie, thank you. Very nice question. Dairy industry, all of us know what is it, and right from Nirman to today, we start and been exposed to the industry. So we know that 10 crore families are involved in the dairy business, and the business is very arduous, very laborious. The farmer starts the day from 4 o'clock in the morning, whole day he is engaged and trying out to get the milk, then supplying the milk, taking care of cows, buffaloes. So very, very difficult proposition of work for a farmer. So looking into this, the younger generation, they have seen their parents, their grandparents, and they have seen that how they have toiled for getting the money. So current difficulties for the social thing, what the challenge would be, the new generation not coming up, not following the path what their parents, grandparents have taken and try to develop them through the income they have generated. So to this, with the help of government, with our representation, we have been trying to get some entrepreneurial schemes from the government so that these people who are the young generation, they should be motivated to come out. Another thing is, the second, which is very big way, indirectly it will affect the farmer, is the free trade agreement, which is other companies, other countries, they are eyeing India. India is the largest producer of milk, largest market and largest consumer base. Because of this, everybody is seeing that milk, if we market here, will have the money and we will get the business out of it. So here, the leadership of Dr. Sodi and the dairy federations, we fought very nicely for ourselves and got out of a very good decision that farmers are protected now. Still then, countries like US, Europe, they are trying and putting pressure on India to come to the FTA, for which lot of representation continuously happening from our side, and we are trying that FTA and our farmers are really protected. Another is not a challenge, it is a irritant. Irritant in the sense, 5,000 years since we have been knowing what milk is, from Lord Krishna days. Nobody will take milk from us away. Milk is with us from from our childhood. So milk is milk. So people like plant-based people, they are trying and saying that milk is not good. And they are also false propaganding against the milk, for which we had fought last 1.5 years very successfully through legal medium, through advertisement, and saying what milk is, myth versus reality, and helping us to get some solutions. And it is going to go, and few of big companies, they have removed their tag. They were saying the milk, soya milk, they removed it and put it as soya drink. So such way things are happening from dairy industry. We are for the owners, they are our farmers, and we are committed to them from the professional level to anyone who are involved in the dairy industry, and that way we are trying to get into such challenges and continuously getting the success. Thank you.
देखिए आउट ऑफ सिलेबस में भी लोग आंसर कर पा रहे हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं।
उन्होंने वो बोला तो वो बोलना चाहते हैं।
सर आप आर भी कर सकते हैं।
I think इससे पहले कि सुबोध सर decides to go down, मैं पहले उनको ही पूछ लेती हूँ। क्योंकि जो बच्चे ज़्यादा excited होते हैं ना क्लास में, उनको टीचर खास ध्यान रखती है। So Subodh sir, we know that you have almost 40 years of experience with animal nutrition. हाँ, तो experience ज़्यादा है। Experience is more. So, sir, poultry industry जिसमें आप अभी currently हैं, it is a highly vertically integrated industry. इसमें input, nutrition, injection, feed, everything is taken care of. Chicks को एक certain age तक बड़ा करके, then we give it to farmers for growing and उनको बड़ा करने के लिए. But still, this industry has seen a lot of supply chain disruptions. Sometimes you'll have the bird flu, sometimes you'll have some other some ailment coming in, and then COVID came in. COVID में तो everything was about food safety and issues that were going around. So what has been your major challenge, most critical, most difficult challenge that you faced up till now? And how do you foresee us taking this forward? How do we improve upon this as far as supply chains and global supply chains are concerned?
First of all,
I am humbled to be here. मुझे लगता है कि शायद रिची को कोई और मिला नहीं तो मेरा भी नाम डाल दिया।
नाम ही सुभोग है।
मैं अलग से डील करूँगा। I'll start with my tribute to Kurien, and also I would like to place on record that whatever I am or I have been able to do is because of my initial 12 years in Federation. I never got paid for that when I was in Federation. But it is giving me 200, 300 times now whatever I learned there. Coming back seriously to the question, I don't know, when I was in school, there used to be a Kalu. And that Kalu used to be blamed for anything. मोहल्ले में किसी की चुन्नी किसी ने ले ली, किसी की बकरी भाग गई तो कालू ने किया। तो पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री इज लाइक कालू फॉर एनीथिंग। बर्ड फ्लू आ जाए, कुछ लेना देना नहीं है, लेकिन चिकन खाना बंद हो जाएगा। कुछ भी हो जाए तो वी आर कालू ऑफ द ओवरऑल नेशनल मीडिया एंड दे विल बी ब्लेम्ड फॉर एनीथिंग एंड एवरीथिंग, एंटीबायोटिक्स, प्रमोशन, दिस एंड दैट। As far as COVID is concerned, I think it has hit all of us in equal measures. There is no industry which could say that we were prepared and we didn't have disruption. More so when we talk about livestock. And it was simply a big shock which took us a long time to come out of the shock, that we could not supply feed to our birds, and those birds were let out. The lessons essentially were that whatever you do, there will always be an X factor, and you have to remain prepared for anything. In our industry, the poultry industry that last almost 25 years has been working, there are 270 variables, including something happening at Chicago exchange on soybean prices. Sanjeev is more qualified to talk about. Even that affects us sitting in a remote corner in the country and not being able to get our ingredients at remunerative prices. So the only way forward is to be prepared all the time. And the boon from COVID has been, it has made all of us efficient. Whatever was earlier chalta hai, ho jayega, kar lenge, was no longer possible, and all of us now are more efficient. We have looked at both at the back end on supply chains and on the front end of how to efficiently reach consumers. We are resilient. We have not yet come out of that COVID shock, but we will come out. Does that, I'm utilizing the time now.
ये पब्लिक से पूछेंगे सर, मैं जज नहीं
नहीं, पब्लिक के लिए मैं हूँ यार, यहाँ पर मत करना, मैं साइड में बात कर दूँगा। Only one thing I will say, right from the first day of my start on 31st of March 1983, from that day till now, I have always been CEO for whatever I have done. Being CEO is in your own mind. It does not come with designation. Whatever you do, take ownership, do your best, you will always be successful. Thank you.
Okay, taking cue from what Mr. Rajna said, I think we will now ask Supekar sir. Supekar sir जो है वो MD CEO है National Cooperative Dairy Federation of India. So this is an organization which does a lot of support to the producers in terms of, and specifically they have a very nice initiative for past few years. They built in a platform for trading of commodities for the organizations that deal in this space. So, sir, these days many marketplaces or platforms are helping our supply chain become more efficient. And what is actually your viewpoint on the need of these platforms? Because we have so many now. Which one should we go to? What should we, I mean, really should we come to your platform, or we can just do it? Anybody can build a platform. So please share with us your thoughts on this.
Yeah, thank you so much. I feel proud to be the part of such a stalwart panel. I'm a small farmers representative, and in fact, I'm having a small complaint with the Richie. She asked all simple questions to my other colleague. ये पेड़ पक्का है. So, coming back to the
पहले से पटा के रखना था ना उसको.
अब बताऊंगा सर. Yeah, it's a quite a pertinent issue nowadays that when a whole range of service providers are available, we could see that the kind of customized service, if any service provider is offering to the customer, then we are having a better reach in the system. And particularly COVID and post-COVID, I could really recall that right from last many years, Amul is already having online system for the customer and whole range of other service providers. So that has added value for particularly both the working couple and ease of say getting the right quality product. And many those who are customers who are at some distant location or 10th floor, 20th floor in a metro, they get the things unlocked. And I keep going to my daughter's place so that she's in Gurgaon, and then on one phone call, just within 4 or 5 minutes, they get the material distributed. So that digital platform has played a real vital role. And she asked about the NCDFS platform. So NCDFS platform also is providing a very customized service to the whole range of our milk unions and state federations for disposal of their butter, skim milk butter. Now we have come out with the liquid milk also, and that is also paving the way for the right kind of getting the good price, and we could break the geographical barrier. So that has proved a sort of a new revolution in the overall system. Is it okay, ma'am? Up to D grade is okay?
सर ये मिला है.
अभी तो शुरू
नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन सर. थोड़ा देर में पूछती हूँ. सबको पहले एक बार. So I think when we are talking about the latest technologies, the platforms and all the new things that are coming up and their relevance in today's world, I think it is important for us also to understand what are the skill sets that are needed, because we all, I mean young or old, we all need those skill sets, let's admit it. We should know about things, even if we are asking our juniors to do it or our team members to execute a certain assignment. Unless we know about them, I think we'll fall flat. So let me come back to Jadhav sir. Sandeep sir, you are into the human resources management. He's an entrepreneur. He runs his consultancy firm. I think most of you would have approached him sometime or the other, I'm sure. Tell me, raise your hands. Did you? At least one honest guy we have in the auditorium. So, sir, please share with us your thoughts. ये सही बताया देखिए सर ने हमको कि I think Sandeep sir will be able to tell better who all have approached him. all guys, CVs are there.
But yes, delighted to be part of this panel. Now, if you look at the environment, you have resources, that is be people, you have enterprise, business, you have environment, and you have technology. Now the way things are moving, I think for people what is important while they are starting a career area, at whichever stage of career they are, most important thing is to build a habit of introspecting and being observed. Because the way things are changing, they're actually disrupting a lot of things. Even when you're starting your career, you have so many options. So understand, you introspect and understand your own self as to what is that will make you happy. For you to make right choices is going to be extremely difficult. And what I see is most of the people, when they are making their career choices, they are largely driven by commercial objectives, roti kapda makan. And as a result, you have today things like people not being happy, depression, and so on and so forth. So to be successful and to be happy in life, I think most important and critical thing is to understand your own self and introspect. That's the most critical thing. And obviously your goalposts and your approach towards looking at life will keep on evolving, keep on changing. Now that's on individual side. Now, if you look at the organizations and enterprise, how they should look at the technology, with the global external factors, a lot of things are impacting businesses nowadays. So for an organization, successful organization to be successful, to continue being forefront, they have to be very, very flexible and nimble. Gone are the days wherein you will say this is working and this will continue to work. I think moving forward, things are changing very fast, things will change very fast. Events like pandemic will accelerate some things, but understand that organizations and individuals, what is organization? Organization is all about people. Today, people is what makes difference. Finance is available, capital is available, resources are easily available. So, organizations who build people who are flexible, who are adaptable, teams who are flexible and adaptable are the organizations who will continue to do well and flourish. I would here urge, because there are a lot of people from organizations which we have built through alma mater like cooperatives. I think it's very important for even all of us, the leaders who are in cooperatives, to introspect and reflect the structures, the way organizations are laid out, but what is going to happen in future, how relevant they will be with considering the technology and the way consumer is changing and so on and so forth. Now, if you look at the way people are looking at their careers, on one side you have Elon Musk firing people, and he saw after downsizing by 25%, another 30% immediately resigned. So people should be ready, organizations should be ready, because days are not very far when people would like to have dual employment. He's doing something half time, and good quality people would look at it that way. Post-pandemic, some organizations are forcing people to come to office, and they are seeing huge resistance. Wipro is saying people are doing dual jobs. But I think moving forward, good talent, if organizations have to attract and retain, they will have to be really, really innovative, and definitely there are going to be paradigm shifts. People, if they have to really, organizations, particularly at leadership level, if they have to really think of getting best talent and retaining best talent, they have to be very, very innovative. Approach has to be very innovative. They will have to look at people in a holistic way, and not only they are doing a job. Because youngsters who are entering, they are not only looking at money, but they are also looking at purpose. Organizations which are having purpose will be able to attract best talent. And that best talent obviously will be able to build best organizations. I hope I've cleared my time. Thank you.
I think this is what you pointed out is relevant as on today as it was 40 years back. I think doing something that we like brings in the best in us. That's number one. And the other is then we are happy and we don't worry about whether we are earning 10 rupees or 10,000 rupees, because anyway the money is in the bank. So it really does not matter. So I really agree. Thank you so much for this thought. And moving on from this, building onto this, now let's say we've acquired those skills that are needed and we are happy working and all. So Jain sir, he was happily in his...
Yes, sir.
Well, Jain sir has been with Amul
ever since he graduated from IRMA.
Which means I'm unemployable outside.
See, they are putting words into my mouth. I have not said that. So, sir, as commodities move from products to brand now in today's times, products largely still remain in the commodity space. They have not been able to graduate to a brand. And you have been in the branding space for so long, ever since. The commodities, if they want to reach the brand stage, it is a very long process. And the transitions, what are the transitions that you see in the process? And what are the strategies that one should adopt to become a brand?
Thank you, Richie, for the question. And I'm reminded that I'm back in Professor Mukunda's class of marketing way back in 1990. But before that, Mr. Class, I'm sure you will be appreciating the notes which our Richie ma'am has taken. And meticulously, she's asking very difficult questions from there. Okay, first of all, thank you so much. We are here at IRMA on this special day of 26 November, and we should also recognize that Dr. Kurien was one of the best marketing minds that not only India, the world has had. Because of, since he did so many other things, we are not appreciating this fact. But you can see the transition of converting a commodity into brand. What is Amul and converting a liter of milk into a commodity India kind of a journey is what was possible because for his passion for 4 P's, of course, which is product, price, place, promotion. You can now relate it to every single thing that he did or we are doing together. But he injected 2 more things into this entire thing. So one was passion, that is the 5th P. But the 6th P, which I think Sandeep mentioned also, was purpose. So once you put purpose into anything, it makes the entire journey or a transition from category X, loose unbranded package to package and branded very, very easy, and you can seamlessly translate it across any single commodity you are looking at. Today companies try to identify purpose after doing work. Here purpose came in as a cooperative, and then that resulted into conversion of milk into maybe Asia's largest milk brand and around 61,000 crores, Indian dairy industry becoming so big, largest producer of milk in the world, and so on. Now, similar experiences and examples have also happened in space of oilseeds. We are now working in space of organic and trying to convert a regular wheat flour into an organic product by involving the farmers and the producer on the one side and consumer awareness on the other side. But this is a slow process, it's a difficult process. And what also it requires is, as you mentioned, resources. But Dr. Kurien did it by only giving 1% of the total turnover to advertising and brand building. So you can imagine that his purpose of serving the producer was so high and also making value for money brand for the consumer so high that he did not say you need to waste money to buy out a consumer's loyalty and make a brand. So the transition process is very important, but it's a passion with which you work with focusing on the science of marketing and manufacturing would give in results. And we can transplant these learnings into any category or commodity we can look at. And the results will come more sooner than later.
सर ये जेनरिक क्वेश्चन का आंसर आपने दे दिया, मुझे स्पेसिफिकली बताइए।
एक मिनट ताली को बजा दें।
ये आंसर कॉन्फिडेंस आंसर था, अब फिर से बताइए कि वो हो गया, अब earlier, how long did it take for a commodity or some product to become a brand in earlier times versus today? Because today the world is different.
See, again, continuing to what I said is, there are certain shifts which happen which actually trigger to a thing. So when I say things are slow and it takes time, that is the normal way of doing it. Pandemic is one way in which we realized that people moved in, started putting more trust and faith into packaged branded goods as compared to loose unbranded things. So this is one area which actually, what is in our business, we call it tectonic shift. That people were earlier okay with buying कि कोई भी दूध चलेगा, कोई भी पनीर चलेगा, कोई भी मिठाई कोई कैसे भी खोए से बनी है चलेगी. कहीं भी लूज ले लो चलेगा, तो वो सब चीज it transform into when people say that no, if I am spending money and I can't risk the life of my family for things which are not proven to be safe or trusted, you move into packaged trusted goods. So that resulted into big transition and big shift into the mindset of the customer. तो कुछ ना कुछ trigger ऐसा आता है. Oils also it happened that there was some case of adulteration and it moved, people started realizing packaged branded oil is better than that, and that had led to a dramatic growth in the packaged good industry. So in every and as I mentioned, organic, people also realizing that whatever other agricultural products we are eating are not safe because of excessive use of pesticides and fertilizers and so on. So with that awareness and education in the minds of the customers coming in, the shift is very, very fast as compared to the earlier times. So since we are living in these times and era, every brand has to sense what is the transition, which is how transition the consumer is passing through in his or her journey, and how to accelerate that into conversion from loose to packaging brand. तो ये थोड़ा स्पेशलाइज्ड पॉइंट था. आई थॉट, मैंने सोचा सब 1000 रुपए दिए तो इतना वसूल.
देखो नया सीखा ना टेक्टोनिक शिफ्ट, ये ज्योग्राफी का ही याद था. All right. So I think moving on from here, let us ask somebody who has been in the space of various FMCG organizations and especially consumer-facing roles. Let us ask Kamaldeep sir. I can see the batch dynamics is working here. Some batches are getting too much of backup.
वो अपने आप ही लाया सर.
All right. आप भी लाए हो सर, मुझे पता है. मैं भी लाई हूँ. मेरे बैग वालों जोर मचाना. ओके, सीपी बाद में करेंगे. सीपी मोहन होता है, उसके साथ करेंगे. ओके सर, D2C is the buzzword today, and in food, FMCG, agri, every other day one new company is coming up, organizations are merging, things are just going from here to there like a wave. So is it just a wave, or all this will, I mean, organizations will survive? What are the opportunities as on today? Because we are looking at big organizations like yours getting amalgamated with others. So please share some thoughts on what is the future, how does it look like?
Future from the point of D2C brands.
D2C and other new things coming up and old ones merging, and then what is the opportunity for the new ones being there, or they are going to just die out?
Thank you, Ruchi. So, पहले तो nothing dies out actually. New comes, the old doesn't get replaced in a way. अगर आप देखेंगे the history of consumer India, general trade, when I started, modern trade was 100%, अभी वो 88% है. So nothing dies, you know, when something new comes up, we imagine that old will get replaced. But you know, many models have proved that they are there to serve in India. Now coming to this D2C journey and what is happening new, तो सबसे पहला point है कि there is layer of 1 crore of 90 lakh Indian households who are very rich. They want to consume products which are above mass. So people moving from, let's say, mustard oil to cold pressed oil. So they have the money, they are aware, and they want to consume better products. So this is the first, let's say, set of aspirational and affluent consumers जो D2C boom को fire कर रहे हैं. Second, now you know we have very large population of millennials and Gen Z. Unlike us, they consume digital content, they interact with brands digitally, and they don't need physical pivots. So that's also working in favor. Third, अगर हमारे आप distribution की structure देखेंगे, you know, general trade is made for selling 1 rupee, 5 rupee. वो इंडिया का unique strength है, you know. No one can distribute products at margins at which we do in India. Then came modern trade the value segment, 100 rupee price point उस पे काम किया. Now you are moving to D2C, which is working at 400, 500 rupees. So this is a segment which is catering to our niche of the market. But yes, it is here to stay. And fourth क्या हुआ है along with this, in marketing we are moving to a new paradigm. Mass marketing से retail marketing पे गए. अभी now thanks to digitization, YouTube, we are doing mass personalization at scale. I know Richie, I can see your data, I can actually influence you. So that is happening at a level unseen before.
जैसे इतना easy नहीं है. I have my decision.
So point taken. Maybe our batchmates can, but from D2C brands ये 4-5 चीजें जो हैं, they are feeling this whole boom in D2C brands. But इनके challenges हैं. पहले तो क्या है? 1 crore customer, the funnel is very small. Everybody is pumping money and Google and Facebook are taking all the money. So who will win this game? Now the game is people who don't burn their money on Google and Facebook and reach these customers very, very uniquely will make money. Otherwise, बाकी नहीं बचेगा. The cost of acquisition of customers is going to 250 to 400 rupees. So D2C brands जो है, they break even when a customer buys third time. पहले 2 time customer acquisition का पूरा पैसा is gone. So and the last challenge which they are facing because of these 1 crore consumers, once a brand hits 100 crore turnover, they don't know what to do. And then the cost structure of general trade, modern trade and e-com don't match. They are facing this problem. So तीनों को merge कैसे करें? So net what is happening is there is a set of consumers. It is an opportunity for all of them. This market will definitely grow as we, जैसे JK Radial था when I was a kid, हम सोचते थे ये कौन यूज करेगा, but 20 years, 30 years down the line, the market completely changed. It will become, let's say, sizable 5%, 7%, 8% in a decade. Now, where brands should use it and where they are using it. Now, in online to test a concept is very, very easy. Physical world में आप 10,000 दुकानों पे जाएंगे, retailer को मार देंगे, offtake कौन करेगा, you don't know. But in online world, to test a concept and then to launch in physical world is damn easy. Yeah. So, now this is, I have told you the opportunities, challenges, and the path which is full of thorns. So, मुश्किल है ये, but it will happen. But very, very possible.
Right. So I keep coming back to the milk industry because that's where I belong to, and you can see the presence on the panel because of that also. So let me come to Pawan sir. He's smiling. Do you know the question paper already? Okay. Well, what all you eat at Amul, he's the person in charge of that, huh? Let me tell you. He takes care of all the products at Amul. And sir, Amul is such a big giant. We cannot even imagine Amul facing any challenges in its supply chains. I mean, I have clients across the country, north, east, south, west. Everyone, not barring anyone actually, everyone faced losses during the pandemic because of supply chain issues, because of product issues, procurement issues, everything. I think Amul is the only one that has gained market share across. But even then, even being a giant, no one has that kind of an immunity. Can you share a few incidents wherein you were able to overcome some of those challenges that came from the global supply chain perspective? And actually, could you create success stories?
Oh, that's a tough one. So, Richie, before I can respond to that, let me, on behalf of everyone here, thank you for infusing so much energy into this event and making it happen. All right? Okay, coming back to your point that you raised. See, everyone here is a part of the extended Amul family, right? and we all know and understand the Amul model very well. So we would also intuitively understand that the way we are structured, any major disruption in global supply chains would not really have a very significant impact on the way we work or on our operations. So that's for sure. But nevertheless, like everyone else, every other business in this country, we also face issues such as delays in, say, delivery of machinery, spare parts, packaging material, or anything that originated from outside the country. So people face issues like scarcity in shipping containers, the freight costs, etc. So yes, but those are general things which I'm sure everyone has faced post-pandemic. Coming back to any specific incidents that or any success stories that you made out of the opportunities that arose out of the disruptions, I can think of a couple of incidents, maybe. I don't know whether they're success stories or maybe you're the best judge of that. One was very recent, and that was in the summer of 22, and the recent summer, and that was actually a very good summer for us. So pandemic was history, and we were doing very well, and demand was soaring. People were consuming more, especially our summer-based products, ice cream, your Amul buttermilk, Amul lassi, the flavored milks, all the milk-based beverages. The demand was literally going through the roof. And this was the first normal summer we had after maybe 2 years. In the middle of all this good news, there was a realization that all of a sudden there was a general scarcity of something which was very tiny but important. All of you know your packets of Amul buttermilk in the sea, and those small little straws that come along with the carton packaging. There was general scarcity of the straws in the country. And in the middle of all this, the government of India went ahead with a long pre-announced plan of implementing what all of you have heard, the ban on single-use plastics. And the most readily, there was a general scarcity, and the most readily available format of straws in the country just evaporated away, because we were all very eager to switch to more eco-friendly, environment-friendly options, the paper ones. But within India, there was not enough production capacity available at that point in time, and even the international suppliers were all tied up. So there was a bit of a crisis, and thanks to our sourcing team, some of whom are here, who got us out of that. But one little thing that came out of it, which we are very proud of, is that our technical team at Gandhinagar, they managed to source within this crisis the first set of Indian manufactured biodegradable straws. And these were sourced from within India, and the reason why no one else was looking at them at that point in time, because they were the straight ones. The ones you see with your buttermilk packets, the curved one, right? The ones which is U-shaped and bent. So they sourced from within India, used our own in-house capability to reshape them into a format which is compatible with our high-speed automated production environment. And yes, I guess that counts as a success story. We are very proud of the fact that Amul was the first beverage brand in India, in the middle of all the crisis, which came out with the first Indian manufactured, Indian sourced biodegradable straws. So yes, that was one little thing. We face similar things in something else which is very similar, again arising out of the global environment, the metal can packaging. So bang in the middle of 2020, the government decided to implement something called a steel quality control order. Okay, that basically meant, we use a lot of these metal can packagings for a ghee and baby food, etc. That's very highly specialized food grade template. And within India, there are only two manufacturers, the Jindals and the Tatas. And between them, they did not have enough capacity to meet the domestic demand. And then the government goes ahead in 2020 when international travel was restricted and steel QCO was implemented. In other words, we could not source from anyone who did not have a BIS certified factory. And all the suppliers who were based in East Asia, Japan and elsewhere, there was no travel. So no BIS official could travel to these countries to audit and certify and do anything. So that was a crisis for sure. But our affiliate organizations reasoned out with the government, and we got an extension of around a year or so, in which time we built up, worked with the Tatas and the Jindals to build up domestic production capacity. happy to say today, almost everything we use in terms of that raw material are all Indian manufactured, sourced from within India, and we have no requirement of importing anymore. So I guess that's another question.
I'm glad, I think the right question now to the right person. Thank you so much. In fact, let me ask Paresh sir. Paresh sir, we are working hard to move towards Atmanirbhar Bharat, and today we import about 60% of our cooking oil requirement. I am told to understand that in the late 80s and early 90s, Dr. Kurien did bring about self-sufficiency of oils to a certain extent. And that is when probably you started your organization at that time. You were doing oil cakes, you were doing export of oils as well, if I understand, to some extent, yes. So please tell us, what can we do to become self-sufficient again? Because is it because of the policies, or what went wrong in between?
I will not take much time is passing. I will go quick on to the main thing. Yeah, the first and foremost thing for any agricultural products or other things that you have to look at it for this is a price. The price is a major factor which can increase the production. If farmers are getting proper prices, the production can be increased. Now that is in two ways. The government is having support price mechanism. Now support price is, if the procurements are made in a good way, that can be a good factor. Second is the import duty reduction. Now government has to please farmers at some point of time, government has to please customers at some point of time. When prices move up, duties are increased, and that continues even when the harvest times are there, when sowing time is there. So that is affecting the output at a later phase. Then we have to think in terms of increasing the oilseed production. And say this Patanjali is going on with this palm oil plantations now, which can increase the production. You have say GM seed sanctions coming now. So it's a multiple options which we have to think. Now there is a deficit of say 1.4 million to 1.5 million tons. Self-sufficiency is a long way to get. From the point where we are self-sufficient, now we are at say 1.4 to 1.5 million tons of deficit. So it has to be a multiple of factors, increasing prices for the oilseed, getting the farmers paid right kind of thing, increasing duties again, then this palm plantation and GM seeds, shifting towards GM seeds in a quick way. I'll not take more time. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it also looks like most of the industries actually would be raw material based, and I think the production makes a lot of difference here as well. So let me come to Sudhakar sir. He is the CEO of IRMA Agrotech, and he is also the president of the Indian Vegetable Oil Producers Association. Sir, considering the fact that we somewhere lost the production of oil properly as far as our requirement was concerned, how did you manage to achieve the 10x growth in your company, and how did you do it with edible oils and brands and using biofuels? Please share some thoughts around those.
Check. देखिए हमारा moderator has been very mischievous because I've been trying to get the topic for a while now. Initially it was pandemic, supply chain, which I prepared. Then later when I checked, she said it's self-sufficiency. After that I made about a couple of pages of notes. She said you get 2.5 minutes. Then I prepared for 2.5 minutes. She is asking a question which I require an hour. Okay, so I think I will not take much time. I'm so happy. Anand hai, idhar aake. So finally I decided, Ms. Moderator, that whatever be the question, I will say what I have to say. So let me go back to the roots. Let me quote from Dr. Kurien, which because of whom we are here. He said, India will find its place under the sun when the partnership between the wisdom of the rural and the skill set of the professionals will happen, right? So that's the reason why we are here. I'm so happy that I passed out from IRMA, and like many of you started off like a salesman or a trainee or whatever, but thankfully I got to handle and build some businesses to grow it big. So all of us have got a story to tell, right? So as far as your particular question is concerned, I think in the edible oil scenario, we saw the opportunity in my current company in the last 7-8 years. Of course, when we started off with 2,000 crores when I joined. So we had a vision statement. Usually, consultant come and tell what is your vision and all that stuff. I said we want to become a $5 billion company in 10 years. So nobody believed. They said it's very foolish and atrocious statement. Later, another consultant came and told us if it is a moonshot and people don't ridicule you, and if they don't like what you say, then you are on the right path. Okay. So, but come back to the subject of edible oil and the growth. I think we saw the opportunity. We saw the consumption growing. We knew how to do the risk management of the commodity, which is very, very important. In the last 1 year, you would have heard that the governments all over the world have moved from farmer to consumer to treasury to again back to industry. Look at Indonesian policy recently. They took a gun during pandemic and then shot on their foot. So when I look at the Indian government, I feel so happy that they are listening and they're happy to interact with us and address the issues from time to time. So the policy, the basic demand, supply sources, if you have from all over the world, and we also have a crush unit at the refineries. We are happy to say between second largest between Adani, Richie and Adani, myself, we control about 30-35% of market. Who is number 2? We don't know. Sanjeev and I will decide over the lunch time. But I'm happy to say that the IRMAns as or is there also. And I'm talking about him only. So him to put together, we are in this industry. We saw the as far as the 10x growth is concerned, it just happened. I can't cover it in 30 seconds. Simply I can say it is the people have the right amount of seats in your organization, have the right people onto the seats and get them to work on the, apart from the purpose, work on the autonomy and the mastery. I think magic will happen. That's what has happened. Thank you very much.
देखो भैया ऐसा करना ये दोनों लोगों के साथ मेरा बढ़िया फ्रेम में फोटो ले लो मुझे पता है they are controlling the oil business ना oil mafia So well Paresh sir already mentioned about Patanjali, so I have to ask that only to Sanjeev sir now. मेरे पास यही क्वेश्चन आई थिंक मोस्ट रेलेवेंट वो बताएगा नहीं अच्छा इसलिए तो पूछना है सर व्हाट आर योर फ्यूचर प्लान्स एज फार एज पतंजलि फूड्स इज कंसर्न आई नो क्वेश्चन आपने कुछ और सोचा होगा पर सो यस मैम so sir please share I'll get but first let me complete So basically, like Paresh sir mentioned, that you all have done some plantations, but sir, do something. And now that you all put together control the oil mafia, then you should do something to make us self-sufficient. I think that is something that we really want from you now.
So, look, India has a huge challenge because we're almost importing 70% of what we consume and nearly 50 million tons. And India went through hell because we're a large consuming country. The prices went up nearly 40% over 2 years, led by multiple factors on the supply chain side. Whether it was regulatory challenges about Indonesia suddenly banning the exports of oil for a window, or it was the Russia-Ukraine war, or it was general supply challenges world over, or the pandemic as well. So it was a huge issue, and this has caused inflation, which has hurt the consumers immensely. So one of the core objectives, I took this role about 2.5 years back, and we worked very closely with the central government on the policy dimension, including the resource allocation, and very happy to sort of say that we are planning to take up perhaps the most ambitious of edible oil projects, or one of the unique projects in the country itself, agriculture projects itself, where the government has allocated very large sum of money towards National Mission on Edible Oil Palm. now we're working very closely with the central government and right at all levels to ensure that similar things are carried forward for sunflower and mustard as well. So the whole idea being that if a country of our size, if our dependence on food as a core commodity was so germane to the whole sort of food security and consumer inflation issues, etc., the government has to be seized of this fact that we need to work towards that. So we are working quite actively to answer your question in a much shorter sort of time frame. That we are working quite actively on the edible oil production side. We are working and recommending to the government that we need to look at alternate channels. So just the other day I was telling to the government that we need to look at multiple ways of securing long-term supplies, either from origins that we sign long-term contracts on a G2G basis, or secure plantations in whether it's Africa or Indonesia, Malaysia, that we need to secure oil supplies, or look at building up strategic reserves on the lines of petroleum sort of products or range of other food like wheat and rice the government does for the MSP operations. So I think there are a range of options available. It requires resources, and I think more than important is that giving the policy makers right inputs, that they're able to do that. And I'm happy to report that we are right up front in terms of working through that process to make India at least certainly partially to adopt method and work very closely with the government and the stakeholders to make it happen. And which one of the key stakeholders are farmers. We will be interacting with almost 500,000 farmers to get this done, and it will raise both their livelihoods and the job creation at the ground level. And that's the core purpose around which we are working. Thank you.
सर देखिए, मैं तो सेल्स वाली हूँ। आपने ये सब बताया, मेरे को नहीं समझ आता है, कब तक हो जाएगा ये बताइए।
बहुत टाइम नहीं लगेगा, 5 साल में आप देखेंगे कि इंडिया का बिग चेंज होगा and there is a massive work which is going on.
That looks fantastic. Okay. So let me now ask our hero of the panel, because he has brought his supporters also. नितिन सर,
आपने इसलिए लास्ट में रखा है मुझे।
हाँ, आपसे लंबा
कितने सेकंड है मेरे पास?
वो हमारी टाइम कीपर हो गए। So, sir, you have been working on a lot of digitalization aspects of the economy in terms of as far as the agri supply chain is concerned, and as product procurement, processing, distribution to the consumer, all that basically, everything can be supported by digitalization as on today. Now, we've heard all our panelists. I would request you to tell us how digitalization can support on the challenges that we have heard up till now, and please, as a reporter, please sum up the panel.
पहले 30 सेकंड लोग का एक एनेक्डोट बताने के लिए, जयंत मेहता जी ने बताया कि 1% मार्केटिंग स्पेंड है अमूल का। So आप बात कर रहे थे 30 seconds, 10 seconds की। So when Sodhi sir was the CTA marketing and we were students, we had a project कि analyze करिए कि FMCG इंडस्ट्री में कितना होता है, 3-4% होता है और अमूल का 1% होता है, और हमने खूब रिसर्च करके गए। And we had an appointment at 8 o'clock in the night, वो बिजी थे, 8:30 बजे अपॉइंटमेंट मिला और हमारी मीटिंग सिर्फ 1 मिनट चली। हमने उनको पूरा बताया, हम ये रिसर्च करके आए, अब आप हमें अपना एनालिसिस बताइए कि आपका ये 1% क्यों है। तो सोडी साहब ने 5 वर्ड्स में बोला, हमें जरूरत ही नहीं है। तो हमें जरूरत ही नहीं है। So digitalization of course covers every aspect of the supply chain. सुबेकर साहब एक्सचेंज की बात कर रहे थे। एक जमाना था जब पैसा किसान को कैश के बोरे में जाके देना पड़ता था, फिर बैंक से हुआ, फिर RTGS हुआ, अब आपका फैट SNF इंटीग्रेट हो जाता है हार्डवेयर सॉफ्टवेयर से और आप 10 दिन बाद पैसे देने के बदले इंस्टेंटेनियसली ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं अकाउंट में etc. We are sitting today on the 101st anniversary of Dr. Kurien. Again, as Sodhi Saab said and Jain Bhai, everybody also mentioned, एक तरीका होता है फार्मर को फायदा दिलाने का by value addition. So you do processing, value addition and give the dividend back to the farmer. दूसरा तरीका होता है by bringing in transparency. तो जो ट्रस्ट आज की तारीख में सप्लाई चेन में रिलेशनशिप के बेसिस पे होता है, मान लीजिए एक गेहूं का या पैडी का कोई किसान है और वो कच्चे आड़ती के पास जाता है, फिर पक्का आड़तिया है, फिर मंडी है, फिर प्रोसेसर है। How do you replicate that same trust which is happening through a person-to-person interaction using technology And with that, how do you eliminate maybe non-value adding activities? तो क्या एक मिलर है जो कि डेली प्राइस दे देता है और फार्मर को प्राइस मिल जाता है और उसको कॉन्फिडेंस और कंफर्ट मिल जाता है कि क्वालिटी कैसे टेस्ट होगी, ट्रांसपेरेंसी कैसे होगी, पैसा कैसे मिलेगा. So eventually in the next 10 to 15 years मुझे लगता है बहुत सारी जो old world industries हमारी agriculture की हैं, they will get revolutionized and a lot of that benefit also will pass on to the farmer. And for students I would like to say एक ज़माना होता था आज से जब maybe 70-80 साल पहले there used to be a position called Chief Electrification Officer जब manufacturing और industrial revolution हुआ था क्योंकि तब सब चीज़ें mechanically होती थी तो बिजली तब आई थी तो हर कंपनी में एक बंदा होता था चीफ इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन ऑफिसर. आजकल ऐसे ही फैशनेबल हो गया चीफ टेक्नोलॉजी ऑफिसर. चीफ इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन ऑफिसर के बारे में किसी ने नहीं सुना है बिकॉज इलेक्ट्रिसिटी इज नाउ पार्ट ऑफ एवरी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ऑपरेशन. तो ऐसे ही चीफ टेक्नोलॉजी ऑफिसर अगले 10 साल तक होगा पोजीशन. उसके बाद एवरीबडी विल बी अ टेक्नोलॉजी ऑफिसर. सो ऑल ऑफ यू एज स्टूडेंट वाज हियर आई थिंक इन द लास्ट 3 or 4 rows take it a point that make the curriculum and knowledge of digital technology an integral part of what you're learning. Because that's going to be everything after 10 years, 15 years, and all of us sitting here will be obsolete. Because the way businesses function, the way knowledge is imparted, the way we talk, the way we interact, the way businesses function will totally be, on the basis of technology. So then we will have another discussion on technology. Thank you.
And I think you will need some consultants also for all this work, na sir? Okay.
IA will not be held responsible for any price change if it happens after this.
So I thoroughly enjoyed chatting with you all gentlemen. And I really hope that in future also I get this opportunity at some point in time again. Thank you very much. It was an honor to be here.
Thank you so much. Now I would like to request Mr. C.P. Mohan sir, Mr. Hitesh Sharma sir and Mr. Manoj Kumar sir to felicitate our panelists.
ये बाकी है।